It's Okay to Be Not Okay has to be one of the best dramas of 2020 so far, and I'll tell you why in this video. I've seen a lot of comments on our videos such as, I don't watch the show, but I enjoy your after shows. I started watching this show after your after shows. That's maybe the purpose of this video as well. And I guess it's gonna be okay to give you a summary of the whole drama because the drama ended like a week ago, and I guess you might have watched the whole drama by now. And for people who are watching this video, obviously they would have probably watched the whole drama. So despite that, before you go on, I just want to tell you that this video includes a lot of spoilers, including the conclusion as well. So if you haven't finished the drama yet, maybe save it for later. But anyways, for the people who have enjoyed the drama, who have finished it already, here is the entire summary of the drama. Let's do a quick recap and just appreciate how well made this drama was. I just want to do it for myself as well. So if you're not interested in the summary, you can skip to this point where I directly start my review. So here goes the summary. So in It's Okay to Be Not Okay, there are three main characters, Kangtae, Sangtae, and Go-Moon-young. Kangtae and Sangtae are the brothers who move around from place to place because Kangtae's big brother, Sangtae, has a bad memory, like a trauma related to butterflies that haunt him. When the butterflies appear in his dream, that means it's time to move to another place. So Kangtae, Kim Soo-yeon, is a caretaker at mental hospitals. He seems to be okay on the outside, but actually he's hiding his hardships of having to sacrifice most of his life to take care of and protect his older brother because Sangtae has autism. Kangtae has been forced to move around, never being able to settle at a place, go to school, nor make any friends. He has only one friend though, Chae-soo, who for some reason always volunteers to follow around the brothers. But anyways, to move on to the next main character, Go-Moon-young is a bestseller children's story writer. Although her books are rather dark and grotesque, they somehow do very well in the market. And to be honest, in the beginning she seems like a psychopath and a sociopath on the outside, and that's because she tries to harm other people, she lacks empathy and doesn't seem to care about others or listen to anybody else than herself. She basically does everything the way she wants to. But when Kangtae and Moon-young coincidentally meet due to a book reading event at the hospital, they get hurled into this crazy situation where this father wants to commit suicide together with her daughter, and Moon-young has this trauma against her father as well, and she tries to attack the father. Kangtae stops her and then gets a scar on his hand. Because of that, Kangtae gets fired and moves to his childhood hometown, despite it being a traumatic place where his mom got murdered, and Moon-young suddenly seems interested in Kangtae and claims that she wants to possess him. She wants him. So she follows him to the area where she also used to live in a big mansion during her childhood. Anyways, their childhoods are revealed just like that, and Kangtae used to have a crush on Moon-young when they were young, but Kangtae got afraid of her destructive behavior and ran away from her. Also, Moon-young encounters Kangtae hesitating to save his brother from drowning in a frozen pond because his brother was such a burden to him, he almost wanted Kangtae to just disappear. However, at the end, Kangtae saves Kangtae and their lives go on, and Kangtae lives with an eternal burden or guilt that he tried to leave his brother to die. In the meantime, Moon-young's father is hospitalized in the mental hospital Kangtae works in because Moon-young's father also has trauma and brain tumor. Later in the story, it's revealed that Moon-young's father had accidentally pushed Moon-young's mom from the two-story house and thought that she was dead. The reason behind that was because Moon-young's mom had killed their housemaid for the reason that the maid had insisted taking Moon-young to a mental hospital for help after seeing Moon-young wanted to kill a bird. And this housemaid happened to be Kangtae's mom. So everything is interconnected, and coming back to the present, while Moon-young and Kangtae start to have feelings towards each other and become real family and they seek happiness together, Moon-young's mom, who was thought to be dead, suddenly resurfaces from nowhere, haunting the brothers. Kangtae finally confesses that the butterflies in his dream was actually the appearance of the brooch the murderer was wearing on the night of his mother's death, and that he had been threatened to be killed if he were to reveal this fact in the future. That's why he kept silent, and it remained as a trauma. Because that meant the killer was back and was going for Sangtae's life. Surprisingly, the culprit was the chief caretaker of the hospital, who was actually waiting for her moment of revenge to her hospitalized husband for all those years, and was in the meantime also enjoying that Moon-young had become her greatest masterpiece, a ruthless, emotionless being resembling herself. While the mother gets her revenge with her husband, she notices her masterpiece Moon-young is getting ruined because she is slowly achieving happiness with Kangtae and Sangtae. Thus, she tricks Kangtae and sedates him and lures Kangtae to the mansion. She originally wanted to make Kangtae to choose between his brother and Moon-young, but Kangtae had already set up that Moon-young would be far away from the scene. Nevertheless, Kangtae also gets sedated, then Moon-young, sensing something is wrong, returns and barges in attempting to kill her mother, but Kangtae stops her midway and ends up getting stabbed again by Moon-young. While the mom is almost at victory, enjoying the whole situation, holding Moon-young by the hair, Sangtae's consciousness comes back and he hits the mom in the head with a children's storybook. She gets knocked out, and easily like that, she's locked into jail. Even after this, happiness doesn't seem to come quickly because of the guilt Moon-young is feeling and Kangtae's inner feelings that he can't face Moon-young after knowing the fact that she's actually the daughter of his mom's murderer. However, with the help of some consultation and therapy from the mental hospital's principal and Sangtae, who spits out honest and blatant facts only, Kangtae finally realizes that it's okay to face and admit all the hardships and pain and simply work out a better future with Moon-young together. He approaches Moon-young, confesses his love, and pursues her relentlessly, and finally the two make up with a kiss and a fantastic night. The three are finally happy, and Moon-young and Sangtae publish a children's book of their own. Also, the principal of the hospital buys the three a camping car to go on a trip Kangtae always wanted to go on. While everything is going happily ever after on the trip, Sangtae confesses that he feels more happy when he's working and that he wants to go work with another writer and leave Kangtae and Moon-young. Then Kangtae asks his brother whether he's really okay on his own, and his brother responds with the sentence Kangtae had said to his mother in the past that supposedly hurt Sangtae at that time. Sangtae responds, Kangtae belongs to Kangtae. But only this time it's spoken in the tone of letting Kangtae go and achieving Sangtae's own life and independence. Then they all live happily ever after. So that was a long summary, I know, but still I think it was worth it because I love this drama so much that I just had to run through the whole thing again one more time. So anyways, here's why I love the drama so much. First of all, the freshness of the theme, setting, and message of It's Okay to Be Not Okay is very noteworthy. Have you seen any K-drama like this that had this kind of theme, subject, and message? Mental health or the mental field itself is very seldomly touched in the Korean society, and if you go to like a psychiatrist, people see you in a very weird light, and K-dramas usually tend to be very bubbly, lovely, and try to avoid these dark themes, even when they're not dark themes. However, all the characters in this drama show their own kind of mental problem, and the protagonists all have some kind of trauma that haunts their lives and it affects them to become who they are in the present. But in the inside, they seek another version of themselves. It's about the pain and the process of overcoming trauma. The drama blatantly approaches the theme of mental health by holding the setting in a mental hospital with other patients as well, and there are also therapy sessions with the principal of the hospital. And we also get to see each individual patient's story, and in the process of helping them, the main characters slowly realize things and heal themselves. Therefore, this drama was like a healing drama to me, which draws the process of healing of the protagonists, and that's put into a nutshell in the conclusion with the story 상태 and 문영 made, finding my real face. 진짜 얼굴을 찾아서. So actually I'm not going to go into the details of the therapy methods and whether this is right or wrong in that mental health sector and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not an expert in the first place, and I know that there's been a lot of criticism and talk over the therapies and the messages that are introduced in this drama. But still, from a third person's point of view, as a casual K-drama watcher, I appreciated the fact that mental health was brought up in the first place, and also just throwing the message it's okay to be not okay, and showing these people who have pain going through that process and trying to heal themselves. So regardless of the methods or whatever, I just appreciated the fact that this drama covered that kind of theme. And I'm sure that you guys noticed a lot of children's stories being used in the drama as references and as an introduction. And I thought that the usage and application of children's stories in this drama was just amazing. For each episode, there was a children's story that you could fit the character into, like The Ugly Duckling or Romeo and Juliet and more. I know Romeo and Juliet isn't exactly a children's story, but still it's a famous story, and you know what I'm saying. So I thought it was brilliant to use the illustrations and CGI for the children's stories and stuff. And also I thought the aspect of children's stories were more relevant, not just because Moon-young is just a children's story author, but because of the fact that all the characters are actually trapped in their childhood traumas. There are frequent scenes of the characters being seen as their childhood versions, just like when they defeat the butterfly mother and stuff like that. So basically their appearances, and in the present they're grown-ups for sure, but they all hold this kind of childhood version of themselves inside with the unsolved trauma. So that's why I think the usage of childhood stories were perfect, because actually in the mental perspective you can see these main characters as children. And second, let's go on about the acting. The acting was just amazing. I don't even have to emphasize this, highlight this. I'm just gonna guess that you guys will all agree to me on this point. And not that all the other dramas have bad acting, but this one was just beyond excellent. Every single character was first of all well casted. They fit the images of the fictional characters very well, especially for Moon-young and Sang-tae. The actress for Moon-young, Seo-ye-ji, has this cold look, slash some might call it the RBF, the resting bitch face. Sorry if that term's offensive, but I think it kind of describes her well. Also, not to mention that her voice is pretty low and very husky. It sometimes gives you the chills when you hear it. However, as the story goes on, we see that Moon-young was actually manipulated into who she is by her evil mother, and we see the two brothers slowly melt her ice-cold heart. After that, we can finally see the lovely, playful Moon-young inside her, which also sticks to her original figure as the actress Seo-ye-ji. And let's all take a moment to appreciate her deer shouting scene again, because that was epic. Seo-ye-ji, in my opinion, is more attractive when she's laughing and playful. And also, wow, like this is TMI, but her waist. I couldn't get my eyes off her waist in this drama because like it was like the width of one of my thighs. Like, how can a person exist like that? I feel like her character is amplified more because of the fact that she has a very skinny, amazing body figure, like a model-like body figure, but at the same time her charisma and power is very strong. She's very aggressive and her voice is very deep. Those two contrasts make her character more interesting. And we can't leave out Sang-tae. Oh boy. The actor Oh Jung-se is the real MVP of this drama. Without him, it would have been an incomplete drama. It wouldn't have been anywhere close to this good if it wasn't for his acting. And I've seen a lot of comments regarding the drama and Oh Jung-se's acting that it was very accurate to an actual person with autism. Just guessing, he must have done a lot of research trying to make the role accurate and inoffensive as possible. Respect to him. And I heard a lot of comments saying that he never imitated that role in an official stage outside of the drama. That kind of respect and professionalism is another aspect to compliment about this wonderful actor. But don't misunderstand me, because the accuracy isn't the reason I applaud so much for his acting. I felt like the best, most touching scenes in this drama were mostly done by Sang-tae. For example, I almost teared up when Sang-tae was like feeding Moon-young on the bed, and Sang-tae said like that she needed to eat and also that he'd forgive her if she ate. It was always intriguing throughout the whole drama because whenever Sang-tae says anything, it's always somewhat close to the truth. And the lines and words that Sang-tae just thoughtlessly spits out somehow triggers the characters inside, and the characters finally reach an epiphany or like a realization that ultimately shifts their mindsets and emotional state. So my question was, throughout watching the drama, whether Sang-tae means and knows whatever he's saying. Whether if he's actually super considerate and insightful towards the other characters' problems and is truly giving them his advice, or whether if he's just really just spitting out random words without understanding the context, and those words seem so crude and simple that it just stirs up a realization inside others. I feel like the latter situation would be the proper approach to Sang-tae's lines and words and behavior. He doesn't know how to properly assess the situation and feel other people's emotions because he doesn't know how to differentiate facial expressions and stuff. But like, he has his own world, and that world is very simple. He has a set of rules, and whenever someone's like crying or like complaining, is having a hard time, he just gives his advice according to his own rules from his own world. And they are just so simple that it's basically like a big fuck you to the whole complicated situation. It's like, throughout the whole complicated situation out the window, just think it simply. If you look at it in that way, you'll get some clarity. And that's what all the characters do. They just like, oh yeah, like I should do that. And it's so funny how this applies to funny situations as well, like when Kang-tae and Moon-young are fighting with each other. Sometimes they're embarrassed because they love each other and they want to like do skinship and kiss each other. Like, Sang-tae just appears out of nowhere and just says like, I like Kang-tae and Moon-young to be kissing rather than fighting. That single line just solves the whole complicated situation, right? Like, he's giving approval from them to love and kiss, and he also shows his dislike of them fighting. So the fighting situation is all solved as well. Oh, also another amazing scene that made me tear up was when Sang-tae got the published book he illustrated and ran directly to his mother tree and read it to her. His confusion on why he was crying when he was happy was really heartbreaking and touching at the same time. Overall, just by scenes like this, I think Sang-tae is definitely the MVP and the problem solver of the whole drama. He just changes Moon-young's heart. He even changes Moon-young's heart with the drawing he drew of the truly happy Kang-tae's face. And also he overcomes his fears and lets Kang-tae go to live on his own life. And it's kind of ironic and interesting from a third person's point of view, because like normally people would think that a person with autism is the person who needs the most care, but at the end in this drama it was actually the other way around. Just because I didn't talk about Kim Soo-yeon or Kang-tae doesn't mean that he had bad acting. Actually, there was this one scene that got really viral in Korea saying that Kim Soo-yeon is an acting genius because he showed like 5 emotions in 3 seconds, like drunk, angry, relieved, happy, and stuff like that. Also, I think the role of Kim Soo-yeon itself wasn't a role that he should actually like take the lead of the stream, like hard carry, because after all he was the guy with the smiling mask on. So every action and emotion of his was supposed to be hidden and filtered to some sort of extent. I think he did an extremely good job in that role, and in the latter part, as his mask started to crack off, we could see the more emotional side of him and his true feelings. And actually my favorite part was when he finally started to like dream for himself and accept love. He just suddenly turned into a different person, like chasing Moon-young, yelling that he's like he loves her and aggressively moving towards her to kiss her. Like, 사랑해, 고문형 사랑해. Ooh, it's so funny how the characters and the lines flipped 180. You remember all those lines were from like Moonyoung in the beginning. So yeah, Kim Soo-yeon's acting as usual was always on level. It was high quality. So, and in addition, I think we need to give some credit to all the supporting roles of this drama, and every single one of them were just gold. Because of them, the drama was very funny, and they brought basically all the comedy into the drama. And all of them, even as supporting roles, had very distinct characters, such as like the sly and greasy publishing company CEO. I liked his acting, and his assistant with no nunchi. Kang Tae's friend Jae-soo, who's kind of like dumb but has that loyalty, 의리, and always supports the brothers. And Judy, who seems like a quiet introvert person who has like a crush on Kang Tae, but when the alcohol hits her, she brings the Hulk out of her. And her mom, the principal of the hospital, who are like real mom and dads that give you the warm feeling. And also good advice time to time. And let's not forget the goosebumps and chills we got when the head nurse was revealed to be the evil mom and looked at the surveillance camera, and she was also like laughing and screaming hysterically from like at the house and in the prison. She was like, ah! That was crazy. To be honest, the drama wouldn't have been the same without these supporting roles. So like they played a very big role in this drama. Yeah, so basically that was my review about the acting and the story parts of the drama. But let's try to mention a little bit about the aspects outside of the story and the characters. And I feel like we can describe this K-drama as a very well-made and beautifully shot drama. The shots were just always interesting, and the location of rural Korea was so calming and beautiful. The mijansen of all the indoor places, such as the haunted house, it was just so well-made and interesting. Like on top of that, Moonyoung's flamboyant fashion just represented her character's defense mechanism. It was very entertaining and dazzling to see her fashion all the time. Like I was always curious on what kind of clothes she would wear in the next episode. It was so funny on the contrast between Kang Tae's and Moonyoung's fashion. Like Kang Tae has this like simple minimalistic. He doesn't even know how to dress up. He's a virgin. He has no experience on dates and stuff. Big shout out to the OST, the original soundtracks. They were really fitting with the drama, and especially that one OST that's played whenever something psycho is about to happen. Like I literally played that OST on repeat for like 3 hours. The song's name is Elaine's Wake Up. I'm just baffled on how a song can be goofy, psycho, spooky, melancholy, sexy, groovy, and emotional at once, at the same time. How can a single song have all of these factors? Whenever that song comes out, that intro, like the clock ticking sounds, you expect something to happen. So now about the finale and the conclusion of the drama. I feel like I need to make a separate section and highlight the ending of the drama. I need to allocate a big portion of this review to solely just the ending of this drama. I think it was actually the best of the best ending in K-drama history. I'll just say that because I've never seen a drama ending this concise, neat, wraps up all the Easter eggs and subplots, which is also extremely happy, wholesome, but also realistic. First of all, I think it was amazing to wrap up all the stories of the patients and the main characters in the form of a public reading of the book. It was a perfect recap of what happened throughout the whole drama. It brought back memories and the joy of watching It's Okay to Be Not Okay, the whole series. And at the same time, it delivers a very simple moral of the drama. The title, It's Okay to Be Not Okay. I like that the drama keeps it simple and doesn't try to be complicated and artistic and all, like big hit, and just shoves the message in your face. Everyone has their own problem and trauma or painful past, but you should try to embrace it, accept it as a part of you, maybe try to face it, and if you can, if it's possible, try to realize that it's okay to be not okay. Kang Tae, Sang Tae, Moonyoung finally go on that camping car trip, like on the road. It's just so wholesome and healing. But if it ended like, oh, they went on living happily ever after on their camping car trip and then dissolved, like camping car proceeds to go towards the horizon, laughing and all, it would have been cliche. But at the end, we get a slight twist of reality where Sang Tae says that he feels even happier when he's illustrating for books and that he got contacted by another author, and Moonyoung's jealous by that. He's called a betrayer. And then Sang Tae just leaves the two and goes on forth individually to pursue his own dream and happiness as his own path. And when Kang Tae asks him, "Hyung, is it really okay without me?" Sang Tae answers with that painful words Kang Tae said in the past, Kangtae's life is Kangtae's. Like, Kangtae는 Kangtae 거, 상태는 상태 거. And I believe that that moment is the true ending of the drama. Everything is solved. Kangtae is freed from his burden on having to take care of his brother for his whole life. Moonyoung and Kangtae can be alone, loving each other freely. And moreover, Sangtae is finally able to independently live his life on his own, with his own abilities, and also the many other good people around him willing to help him. You can see that the CEO of the publishment company like comes to fetch him and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so anyways, in my opinion, this ending was one of the best, like actually the best K-drama ending in K-drama history. I was 100% satisfied with the ending, and I didn't even want the drama to continue. I just wanted to end right there. It was the perfect timing and ending to end. I just simply smiled and that was it. And on a side note, I really wanted to buy that children's book, 진짜 얼굴을 찾아서, to cherish the memory of this amazing drama. It gave me something like the Wizard of Oz vibes. Like the smiley face masked man, the tin can girl, and the ajashi in the box, going on a journey, helping others in the process, and defeating the evil witch. I like how all the characters take off their own burdens. Trauma is symbolized as like a mask, a tin can, and box. Oh, and also speaking of symbolism, I like that this drama utilized the word psycho, psyche, and various meanings. They mention a lot of meanings of the word psycho, like the butterfly, healing, and the actual psycho. I think it was a clever way to connect all the plots and the different situations and the way of thinking among the characters with the one word psycho. As you know, the Korean title of this drama is called psycho지만 괜찮아, which is It's Okay to Be Psycho. The main themes revolving around the word psycho well represents the title. So I just want to ask you guys two questions. There are two mysteries I couldn't solve while watching this drama. First of all, what is Jae-soo's background? Why isn't there any explanation about him especially? Everyone else like the patients and main characters get an explanation for their past. But Jae-soo, who is willing to follow Kangtae wherever he goes, spends his life fortune to open Pizza Volo, is never given an explanation on the character's background or motives. Like, I just assumed he had some kind of eternal debt towards Kangtae in the past or something, but like his whole life story is in a mystery, and I wonder why the scriptwriter did not mention any single fact about him. So what do you guys think his story is? And second, what happened to the patient who was orchestrated into playing the killer and the evil mom in the first half of the story? Like, was she just given that role from the head nurse and thought it was like all part of an act? Like, was she like trying to play her final act as an antagonist or something? Like, okay, I can go with that, but until the end, we never get to know about her whereabouts. Like, the police keep on looking for her, but she never gets caught. Nor is she mentioned in the conclusion on what happened to her. When even the girl from America comes back, or like when the mom who lost her daughter comes back with the shawl, all those characters who have a smaller portion than her, like, they're all wrapped up, but like she just disappears and she's gone with the wind. So what do you think happened to her? Like, did she end her final act and just like, whew? It's Okay to Be Not Okay was just an amazing, wonderful 10 out of 10 drama, like story, plot, theme, art, OST, everything. And you know what? I'm actually gonna tell you even the behind stories of this drama like was a 10 out of 10 as well. This Instagram post went viral in Korea. It's this unbelievable story of this actor Oh Jung-se who played Sangtae, what he did in real life. What happened was, so there's this cellist named Bae Bum-jun who has an intellectual disability. When Mr. Bae saw the drama It's Okay to Be Not Okay and saw the scene where Sangtae was sad and in pain during Moonyoung's fan sign event, Mr. Bae thought that he needed to cheer up Sangtae and wanted to meet him. So Mr. Bae's sister contacted Oh Jung-se's management and an actual arrangement was made. Mr. Bae always wanted to go to an amusement park, so Oh Jung-se happily actually dressed up as Sangtae and made some time to enjoy the amusement park with Mr. Bae. And they enjoyed several attractions, rides, and Oh Jung-se actually became a real friend of Mr. Bae. And this story was revealed by Mr. Bae's sister on her Instagram as well, complimenting Oh Jung-se's kind and warm-hearted personality. And after this, many good tales about this actor is being revealed one after another. Like, for example, it's actually known that he has prosopagnosia, which is like a disorder that makes one unable to recognize faces. And this just adds so much to the role he played in this drama, because Sang-tae has a similar problem of not being able to differentiate facial expressions, right? By emotions. And also it was revealed that Oh Jung-se is known to have dated his first love from elementary school for over 19 years, and he finally married her. And many people are just amazed by this actor's charming personality. And this also goes on with the story, because if you think about it, Kang-tae and Moon-young go back way back to like elementary school, and they're like now grown-ups after like 19 years, and they marry. So I feel like the behind the scenes story for the actor Oh Jung-se added a lot of value and a lot of like positive feelings towards the drama. Highly recommend this drama. It isn't the typical K-drama in regards of the theme, but it has those K-drama characteristics and some tropes. It's funny. And the acting and the production and every detail is just amazing, so you gotta go check it out. And you gotta watch till the end, because one of my favorite parts was the NG cuts at the last final episode. The NG cuts were hilarious. I just couldn't stop laughing. I love that part when like Seo Ye-ji is like, he's like sneezing constantly, and then Kim Soo-yeon's like dancing to the sneeze. like that part, I just had to replay that NG like 5 times. It was so funny. I wish I could put it in here, but it's like Netflix copyright. Yeah, so that was it for my after show review for It's Okay to Be Not Okay. I really enjoyed the drama. Let me know what you guys thought about the drama in the comments, whether you agree to me, whether if you have some criticism on the drama. Let's have a debate here with all the K-drama lovers. And yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.